students, welcome to Abhyaas IIT Prep. In this video, we are going to discuss about JEE Mains 2026, January 28th, Shift 2 paper analysis. Let's get into the video. If you see this question from organic chemistry containing from aromatic compounds. So they're asking the correct statement. The presence of Na2O2 group in benzene ring activates the ring towards electrophilic substitution. Not at all, because it is an electron withdrawing group and it is electron deficient molecule. So hence it is not a correct option. Deactivates the rings towards electrophilic substitution. Yes. Activates the ring towards nucleophilic substitution. Yes. Deactivates the ring towards nucleophilic substitution. Here you can see this is correct and this is not. Deactivates. When you are getting nucleophile means it will become easier, right? So this is also not an option. Just reverse the statements they are asking, simple. So B and C is an correct option. B and C. Fourth option is your answer. Simple question, moderated one, conceptual based one. Okay. Moving on to next question. This is question from inorganic chemistry. They are asking the trends of boiling and melting points. If you see the statement, the increasing order of boiling point of hydrogen halides is chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine. We know that HF is strong hydrogen bonding, right? Strong hydrogen bonding. Coming to this chlorine, bromine, iodine, we are having van der Waals forces. So hence the increasing order like this only, right? Which is statement 1 is true. The increasing order of melting point hydrogen halides is HCl, HBr, HF and HI. Above statement choose. If you see here, this is also true. Why? Because melting point depends upon molecular packaging and lattice energy. First, the HA will be more, then HF, then Br, then Cl. So hence the statement 1 and 2 are true. So option 1 is your answer. Moving on to next question. This question is from classification of elements and periodicity. They are asking, consider the elements of nitrogen, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur, chlorine and fluorine. The number of valence electrons present in elements with most and least metallic character. Most and least. Most means we know that phosphorus and least means we know that fluorine. So for this case 5 and 7 is your answer, which is 3. Very simple question, right? Moving on to next question, which is from equilibrium. Observe the following equilibrium in a 1 liter flask, which is A gives rise to B. So at temperature Kelvin, the equilibrium concentration of A and B are 0.5 m and 0.375 m respectively. 0.1 moles of A is added into the flask and heated to temperature Kelvin to establish the equilibrium again. The new equilibrium concentration in m of A and B are respectively they are asking. If you apply that, A gives rise to B 0.5 m and 0.375 at equilibrium. If you substitute the values of K equilibrium divided by, you are getting 0.75. 0.1 mole of A is added to the reaction means what will happen? It is a forward reaction, right? So hence your A will be 0.6 minus 7 and B will be 0.37 minus 7. Means you are adding 1 mole, right? So at equilibrium, then what you are getting? 0.75 by 0.375x by 0.6 minus x. Upon doing calculation, you are getting of mole A is 0.557 and B will be 0.48. Hence option will be 4 is your answer, right? So not that much tricky question, but time taking one, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from chemical thermodynamics. The plot of log 10 K versus 1 by T gives straight line. The intercept and slope respectively are where K is equilibrium constant. If you apply Van 't Hoff equation, which is log 10 K minus delta H by 2.303 R by 1 by T plus delta S naught 2.30 R. That means it represents that Y is equals to mx plus C. That means this is your X, this is your Y. That means what you are having mn plus C. So answer will be 2 is your answer, right? So simple question, applying Van 't Hoff equation, you are getting that how we are plotting a graph, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from organic compounds containing oxygen. If you see the reaction which produce alcohol as the product, we need to find the given couple of reactions where alcohol is getting or not. If you see CH4O2, you are getting what here? Aldehyde, right? So here you are getting carboxylic acid, CH3COH. CH3CH means you are getting tertiary alcohol. Here you are getting that CH4OH means CH3OH, right? And here you are getting oxidation only, CH3CHCOH. Means alcohol means we are getting only at this positions. All are carboxylic acids and aldehyde. So hence option will be C and D will be your answer, which is 3. Very simple answer. right? Moving on to next question, we are having this question is from D and F block elements. Consider the following statements about manganate and permanganate ion. Identify the correct statements. Manganate and permanganate. MnO4 minus 2, MnO4, right? The geometry of both manganate and permanganate ions are tetrahedral. Yes. The oxidation state of Mn, manganate and permanganate are +6 and +7 respectively. No. Oxidation state of Mn2, salt by peroxo disulfide gives manganate ion by the final product. It is not giving manganate, it will give permanganate. So this is also not an option. Manganate ion is paramagnetic and permanganate ions are diamagnetic. Yes. Acidified permanganate ion reduces oxalate, nitrate and iodide ions. It is not going to reduce, it is going to oxidize. So this is also not a correct option. Hence answer will be A and D. So 4 is your answer, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from hydrocarbons. Which of the following reaction is not correctly represented? Not correctly. So they have given the couple of reactions and given products too, but we need to identify which is correct, which is not correct. If you see for this case, bromine and in presence of H nu, what happening here? It is not at all correct product. What we will get here? We will get free radical, that is tertiary, right? So tertiary radical will be more stable. Why? Because tertiary radical will be more stable here, not this one. So upon this all are correct reactions. This is only not the correct reaction. So 1 is your answer, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from atomic structure. The wavelength of photon A is 400 nanometers. The frequency of photon B is this much, and the wavelength of number of photon C is 10 to the power of 4 centimeter inverse. The character energy of this photons they are asking. If you see wavelength of A 400, wavelength of B they have given C by V, means you apply that 3 into 10 to the power of 8 by 10 to the power of 16. Upon you are getting that 30 nanometers of B, right? Of wavelength of C you are getting that 10 to the power of 4 centimeters. Upon doing the calculation, here you are getting 1000 nanometers, here you are getting 30, here you are getting 400 nanometers. Upon this, arrange the order of this wavelengths. We are having C is having more, then A is having more, then C. So your option will be 2, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from some basic principles of organic chemistry. The cyclic cations having the same number of hyperconjugation. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. They have given some compounds. They are asking how many alpha hydrogen. Means stability of carbocation is directly proportional to number of hyperconjugation, right? So we are having here 6 alpha hydrogens, here you are having 7, here you are having 6 alpha, and you are having 5. So they are asking same number of hyperconjugation. We are having A and C. So option will be A and C. 1 is your answer. So simple question depending upon the concept. Moving on to next question. This question is from biomolecules. I have seen many times biomolecules from directly NCERT based questions are giving. So I suggest you to follow NCERT from biomolecules chapter. Structures of 4 disaccharides are given below. Among the disaccharides, the non-reducing sugar. See, they have given the molecules here. Which is non-reducing sugar is need to be what? It's a non-reducing sugar and it need to have acetal linkage, not hemi-acetal linkage, right? So it should have acetal linkage, not hemi-acetal linkage. If you see along all this, we are having that option 1 is your answer, right? Moderated one, concept based null question. Moving on to next question from chemical bonding, they are asking match the following. Match the following means if you know 1 and 2 options, you can answer easily. If you need not to know all the options, right? So XeO2F2, seesaw, right? Here also we are having that seesaw SF4, XeF4. We are having that BF5. That means D4 and C4, D1. We can eliminate this 2. We can assume, right? So XeF2 we are having that in I3 molecule which is some linear. So option 2 is your answer. So simple question, match the following are the chance to have more number of questions to gain 4 marks, right? Moving on to next question, that from organic compounds containing nitrogen, a student performed analysis of aliphatic organic compound X, which analysis gave, and this compound on treatment with HNO2 H2O produced another compound Y, which did not contain any nitrogen atom. However, the compound Y upon controlled oxidation produced the other compound Z that responded to your iodoform test. The structure of X they are asking. If you see upon treatment with HNO2 and H2O means you are getting that. What you are getting? primary aliphatic amine, right? Primary aliphatic amine. So if primary aliphatic amine means you can eliminate this, right? Upon oxidation, what you'll getting, Nana? You are getting iodoform test. That means it will be a ketone or anything, right? So upon oxidation, it is getting propanol, it is getting acetone. Propanol is not going to give iodoform test and acetone is giving. So hence option 3 is your answer. So simple question, conceptual based question. So moving on to next question. This is question from solutions. Consider the following aqueous solution which is given some statements. They are asking the correct increasing order. So if you apply the formula which is delta TB is equals to I into K V into M. So if you calculate for each of the molecule molarity by mole, then you will getting answer for glucose, for calcium chloride, for urea, for as well as Al2SO4 taken twice. You are getting that if you arrange the order, you are getting that answer will be 1. 1 is your answer, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from organic chemistry, from carboxylic acid and acidity directs, right? So the correct order of acidic strength of the major products formed in the given reaction. If you see here, they have given couple of reactions. We need to find products. Here you are getting carboxylic acid, right? So NH2 is converted into COH. Here also you are getting same CH3, CH2, COOH. Here you are getting that CH3, here you are getting formic acid, MgBr. What happens when you are using dry ether? pH, CH2, COH, right? So the correct answer from the given options, that will be acidic strength, right? So option 4 is your answer, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from organic compounds containing nitrogen, which is Heisenberg test. The total number of alkali insoluble solid sulfonamides obtained by reaction of given amines with Heisenberg reagent. If you see Heisenberg, according to Heisenberg reagent, primary amines can soluble, right? So secondary amines not soluble. Tertiary amines does not form at all. So we need to see that primary or not or secondary. If you see here, aniline, yes, and methylalanine means and C6H5 NH CH3. Methamine, yes, and dimethyl methanamine, yes, and methyl methanamine. CH3 taken twice NH, no. Phenyl methanamine, yes, and propylaniline, that means N propylaniline NH CH2 CH3, propyl, need not to, and phenylalanine, yes, this will be our answer. Means and dimethylalanine can be solved, allylalanine can be also solved, isopropylamine also solved. So hence we are having that 1, 2, 3, 4. So your answer will be 1. Simple question, identifying the Heisenberg test, we can answer easily. Moving on to next question. This is from P block elements. Consider the following reaction, right? So Na2B4O7, upon heating you are getting that, what we are getting, 2 moles, means that 2 NaBO2, right? And your Y will be B2O3. This Y, this B2O3 upon reacting, your Z molecule is getting, what is that, CuBO. How much we are getting taken? Twice, right? 2. So and 2Z 2X, that means CuSO4 and B2O3 upon carbon, you are getting 2Q molecule. 2Q means copper, BO taken twice, we are getting that molecule. So here what happening? Plus 2 to plus 1 oxidation state, right? So they are asking of the copper in Z to Q respectively. That means plus Q and plus 1. So hence option will be 2 will be your answer. Moving on to next question. This question is from some basic concepts in chemistry. For the given reaction, they have given that calcium carbonide reacting with hydrochloric acid. So we are getting a byproduct as carbon dioxide. If 90 grams of calcium carbonate is added to 300 ml of HCl, which contains 38.55% of HCl mass and has density 1.13 grams mole liter inverse. So then which of the following option is correct? Right? So This is some lengthy question. They are asking like limiting reagent and stoichiometric concept based question, right? So moving on to this, you are having reaction. Molar mass of calcium they have given 100, right? Moles of CaCO3 also you are having 90 by 100 upon you are getting 0.9 moles. So HCl solution we are having volume 300, right? And density also they have required that 1.13 grams. So mass of solution 300 into 1.13 you are getting that 339 grams. So given that how much they have given 38.55% of HCl, right? So mass of HCl this into 339 you are getting 130.71 grams. So molar mass of HCl they have already given, which is 36.5, right? Upon from the reaction what we are getting, 1 mole of calcium carbonate needs 2 moles of HCl. So 0.9 they are asking that 0.9 moles of calcium, how much? 0.9 into you are getting 1.8. So available HCl how much we are having, Nana? 3.58. So required HCl we need to have 1 moles. So if you minus this HCl reacted and mass reacted into means 1.8 into 36.5 you are getting 65.7 grams. So HCl how much we are remaining means we are having that 130.7 this minus this upon you are getting that how much here, 64.97 grams. So here the option will be how much here, first option, right? So this is time taking question and a lengthy question, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from coordination compounds. The correct increasing order of spin only magnetic moment values of the complex ion. We are having that Mn plus 2. That means 3d 5. Here the n value will be how much here? We are having 5, right? Means spin. Coming to copper we are having plus 2. That means we are having here 3d 9. Means T2g Eg. Here filling 2, 2, 2, 6, 2, 1 we are having. That means n will be 1, right? So moving on to this n, Ni 2 plus we are getting that 3d 8. Means here n value will be 0. Again we are having Ni plus 2. That means 3d 8. Here you can see the filling E2 T2g 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Here n value will be 2. Why? Because this is square, planar, this is tetrahedral. And if you apply and direct increasing order, your answer will be how much here? 4 your answer, right? Moving on to next question. The student has been giving 0.314 grams of an organic compound as estimate sulfur. So if you know, we have already given this question, very simple question, which is that sulfur 32 by 23 means percentage of sulfur is equals to weight of how much you have obtained. That means 0.4813 grams by how much the organic compound they have given, 0.314 into 100. Upon doing calculation you are getting some nearest answer, right? Very easy question. KREF methods, estimation of sulfur, like every year we are getting this type of questions, right? Moving on to next question. Numerical section. Two positively charged particles M1 and M2 have been accelerated across the same potential difference of 200 keV as shown below. The de Broglie wavelength. So this question is from atomic structure. Since this paper we have discussed atomic structure, we are having 3 questions are raised, right? So if you apply the formula of de Broglie wavelength, h by root 2m ke. So that is kinetic energy they have already given that 200 ke, right? So upon lambda d is inversely proportional to 1 by m. So if you apply that m1 and m2 value, you are getting root 4, which is 2. So your answer will be 2. So this is some time taking question. Okay. Moving on to next question. This is from chemical kinetics. They are asking A to B first reaction, C to D second reaction. Consider the above 2 first order reactions. The rate constant for the first reaction is at 500 kelvins, is double the same at 300 kelvins. At 500 kelvin, 50% of the reaction becomes complete in 2 hours. The activation energy of the second reaction is half of that first reaction. If the rate constant is at 500 Kelvin of the second reaction becomes double of the rate constant of the first reaction at the same temperature. Then rate constant for the second reaction at 300 Kelvins will be, and they are asking in nearest integer. If you apply that the formula for A to B K1, if you substitute that activation energy EA by ln2 into R into 1500 by 2, you are getting your EA1 and EA2. That means they have already told the reaction, second of the reaction is half of that first order reaction. That's why E1, EA1, right? EA1 by E2. That means EA1 by E2. Right? So upon doing, you are getting K1 at 500 kelvins and Ka2 at 500 kelvins. Upon for C means that is your K2. If you simplify at K2 at 300 kelvins and K2 at 300 kelvins, you are getting 4.9, which is nearest integer will be 5. Right? Simple but some time taking process. Okay. Moving on to next question. This question is from electrochemistry. For strong electrolyte, molar inductivity increases slowly with dilution and can be expressed by the equation molar conductivity values of the solution. Strong electrolyte AB at 18 degrees Celsius are given below. We can use this data and we can find. If you see that using this equation, right? So if you substitute that, molar conductivity of this 96.1 and for this case 0.4, right? This is your first equation. Again, if you apply that molar conductivity 95.7 and for this case 0.9, this is with your second equation. If you equate this two, you are getting some nearest integer, that will be your answer. So they have given formula 1 and they have given the data. You need to apply. So for this case, taking calculation some timey but lengthy, but it is not a tricky question, right? Moving on to next question. This question is from electrochemistry. A volume of XML of 5m NaHCO3 solution was mixed with 10 ml of 2m H2SCO3 solution to make an electrolytic buffer. If the same buffer was used in the following electrochemical cell to record cell potential of 235.3, then the value of X they are asking. They have all given the data, but this is a conceptual and like they are asking from electrochemistry, ionical equilibrium, and we need to apply Nernst equation, Henderson equation, means mixed of concepts here, right? Moving on to this question is from this reaction, which is STIN. So you are getting 0.9, right? Minus 0.9. Upon reaction, you are doing oxidation and reduction. Then you are getting overall this much. So your electrochemical cell, that 0.59 by 6 log, if you apply the value, if you simplify, you are getting that this much. You need to apply that Nernst equation as well as and half buffer solution. Therefore, POH will be 7.6. That means you are minusing here. pH will be 14 minus 6.6, you are getting 7.4. So we know that pKa plus log base by salt, if you apply the value and simplify, your X will be 78. So moving to this question is time taking question and tricky question and lengthy question too. They are asking like some 3 to 4 concepts in single question. They have provided the data, but we need to utilize this and we need to do. So it is time taking question. Moving on to next question, that coordination compounds. The number of isoelectronic species among scandium, chromium, manganese, cobalt and ferrous is n if n moles of AgCl is formed during the reaction of complex with formula with excess of silver nitrate solution. Then the number of electrons present in T2G orbital, right? So here they are asking electron species, right? For scandium we are having 18. For chromium we are having 22. For manganese we are having 22. For this case we are having 23, 24. So same we are having for chromium and manganese. That means for this complex what we are having 3D 6 we are having, right? So if you see the orbital filling T2G, so 2, 2, 2. So your n value will be how much here? 2. Simple answer. So that's it. This is the JEE Mains 2026 January 28th shift 2 paper analysis. Mostly NCERT based questions and as well as conceptual based questions too. And the numerical questions are tricky and some time taking process. Thanks for watching.